So it started by me moving to CO for a new job that we agreed upon me taking, as that's where she wanted to be when she was done with school, which was end of December, and our lease was up at the end of June, and she was still doing school in TN. So she found a Facebook marketplace that was for renting a room out of this man's house. Well, she thought he was married and saw no issue with it. If I listened to my gut, I would have said no. Fast forward to the end of May, and I fly to TN to help her move. I met the man who was not married but was talking to a girl and was interested in her. He was also a heavy drinker, and I didn't really appreciate that. I had a gut feeling something would be off and that something bad could happen if I let her stay there, but I decided to trust her in our marriage. Well, fast forward to June, she came to Denver for her birthday, and she was treating me different and telling me that I am a stranger to her and that she can't even tell me that she loves me or doesn't want to be touched by me and would shove me away. I saw her Snapchat the guy and was acting totally opposite in the way she was interacting with me, which I called her out on and said that is suspect, and she got mad at me and asked if I even trusted her, which I told her I did and that I know she wouldn't harm me. A couple weeks later, she FaceTimed me stating that she has had thoughts on cheating on me sexually with him cause she knew it would make me mad and that she thinks she's mentally trying to sabotage our marriage by thinking about it and potentially do it. She stated she would never do that to me and she was sorry. I told her I appreciated the honesty and that I do trust her to not harm me because I have been cheated on before and she knows how much it would hurt me. On my July 4th trip with friends and her friends, she admitted that she cheated on me with him a couple of days before the trip. It was also after the fact my best friend told me because she told his GF about it. When I found out by him, I was devastated and found divorce papers, filled it out, and sent it to her via text saying, "How could you cheat on me with FN, insert name." I walked around Walmart to try and cool off and calm down, went to my great-grandparents' place, let the guys in the living room, and went to the backyard and cried my eyes out, and it was not pretty. I called my granddad and her mom, not knowing what to do, devastated and crying, which I never cry. She texted asking to speak with me. We drove around and she stated she only made out with him. I took that story with a grain of salt as I wasn't there, but I believed her at the time. She stated she did it cause she missed me and her father, whom passed away a couple years from cancer, and that this guy reminded him of her dad and that she is struggling with her mental health. She called it her reasons, and I bluntly told her that it was excuses and she didn't like it cause she couldn't make it to where she wasn't in the wrong if it was excuses. I gave her my list of demands, which were to move in with me and drop out of school to work on our marriage, and she agreed with them and stated she was going to go back to grab her things and would head to Colorado where I lived. I flew back to Colorado and her mom was watching my dogs back in Colorado and wrote a letter blaming me for my ex-wife's mental health, and I was the cause of all of this in my dog's bags. Which is a lie, cause I attempted many a time but was told no due to her studies and that she wouldn't be able to get an internship if she did. I was furious and very angry and told my wife at the time I wanted nothing to do with her mom after that insult. When my ex-wife got back to where she was living a day later, she said, "I'm not moving to where you live as your demands are harsh," and I did nothing to deserve that. The next few days, her mom and I discussed her moving in with her mom in Denver to get the mental health services she needs, as TN lacks that. She refused that also. My family, even though they were mad at her, were willing to let her stay at the cottage they owned for cheap in TN so she can get out of there. She refused. She stated she moved out of this guy's place, but she left a few items at his place in her room and was still paying rent. She stated she was staying with a friend in TN. Fast forward a month later, she visited me and gave me a list of her demands. She stated when visiting me that she hated my religious Christian beliefs. She believes that the church is misogynistic, homophobic, and she doesn't believe in any of that. Doesn't want to live where I want and doesn't want kids, and I have to accept all of that. I decided to divorce due to what she did and showing no remorse and trying to give me an ultimatum after all she put me through and the fact that I want to have kids badly, and she knew this and just threw it in my face. I was working on forgiving her for what she did and was working on our marriage. The month leading to her ultimatum was me calling her and wanting to have long conversations with her that she wanted and saying I wasn't giving her. I decided one day to test to see if I wasn't the one reaching out what would happen, and she didn't call, and it took her a days to call me and then proceeded to yell at me, calling me a child for not calling her and that she's super busy with school and working at a coffee shop that she didn't have time to call me. Yet I, whose job was being a manager for a town, had all the free time in the world apparently to give her a call. Continuing my story after the little rant. Less than a month after agreeing and doing the paperwork for the divorce, she bought a pregnancy test at a Kroger, which is a grocery store, with my phone number so I could see the receipt and denies that it's for her and it was for her friend. However, I had a hard time believing her based on her past actions, and I personally think she was fooling around with the guy and just wanted to give me the middle finger in a sense. Plus, I asked many girls and they disagreed with what she said and stated she was lying. She then tried to have a priest attack me by lying to him to what happened, and he blamed me and stated I was in the wrong and my happiness doesn't matter. That I was lying about the situation and that's not what happened. He also mentioned she was to bring upon my salvation. She then messaged me asking, "Are you sure we are doing the right thing?" I asked, "Do you want kids and do you have remorse?" She stated she didn't want kids and continued to give reasons, aka excuses, for why she did it. A couple months later, she told me that she moved back in with the guy and that her priest okayed it, which is a big lie because no priest would go and say that is okay, especially with how conservative her church is. I mentioned to her that it was a bad look for her, and if others see it, they will view it poorly. She told me she didn't care and that she is moving on. Fast forward to the current times. She is now officially dating this guy and telling her friend, which is my best friend's girl, that she is taking it slow with him, which I believe is a lie cause I full well know what is happening. Luckily in the divorce we just took what items were ours and just went our separate ways, and I didn't have to give her any money. I moved to be closer to family and now I'm enjoying life and found a new girl who I am talking to who's cherishing me and showing me love that never knew existed.